This is what it's all about. This is nice. Take that all in. That's beautiful. Look at this gorgeous wheel. You don't find this every day, do you? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Hi there, this is Captain Q and my old sailing buddy Randy. Join us as we travel hither and yon as we look for some great deals on classic boats and learn a little with each one.
All right, Captain.
Hey, Randy. Oh, where are we, buddy?
Somewhere in southern New England.
We're here to see a really nice ocean-going Swedish designed boat, okay?
All right.
And it turns out it is designed by a man named Ole Enderlein.
Okay.
And he was actually a German immigrant that went to Sweden. He drew the boat up in 1966. And the first boat wasn't built till I think it's 72. So it took a while to get it into fiberglass production. This isn't the boat.
Oh, you tricked me.
Let me show you the boat. It happens to be right down the dock from me, okay?
All right, let's check it out.
So, Randy.
Oh, now you're talking.
Here she is. This is a Hallberg Rassy sloop. They called it, the model was called the Rasmus. And Rasmus is a German name for God of the Winds. I have to look at every boat with an eye toward Captain Q's last boat, right?
Sure.
Now, I ain't getting younger, ain't getting more spry. I don't need to win the races. I just need to get from A to B comfortably and safely. And a boat like this will take a family of 4 or 6, mom and dad and 4 kids, anywhere you want to go in the world. This boat is not going to race to windward like a 12-meter. She's cut way away forward. She's got only about a 4.5-foot draft. So when she's heeled over, she's going to make a certain amount of leeway. The owner has suggested he's having issues sailing the boat. And he wholeheartedly admits it's his first boat, and he's really kind of learning how to sail, some of the fine points of it. So we came down to take a look and see what might be slowing him up a little bit. So the first thing we saw right away was this thing down here.
Is that an anchor?
It is an anchor. You can drag that everywhere you go on the boat. It'll be great, and it will definitely assure that you will not get another knot out of the boat. It's a stern thruster that will kick your stern one way or the other. I would call this a set of training wheels.
Yeah.
I would put that on a hinge.
Yeah.
And with a handle, and you could lift it up out of the water. So if you really wanted to have that little thing, but we spent hours and days longboarding bottoms of boats to get little bumps out of the way. If you look above me, you'll see.
Oh, that's from Planet Fitness, isn't it?
It is Planet Fitness at sea. and you know, I thought it was an add-on, but I came around and I looked at it closely, and I saw that this structure was not really a pure add-on. It's all been fabricated right into the whole stern push pit. Now, first of all, I don't know what this whole thing weighs, but I'm going to bet you, what do you think that is?
Oh,
150 pounds?
Oh, more than that.
200 pounds maybe?
Yeah, tubing.
So 200 pounds you've stuck right on the stern of your boat, which is going to help you hobby horse. If you like hobby horsing, it's great. I personally would come along with a little blow touch or a cutting saw and just trim that right off. This is set up for somebody to carry a dinghy. So he's going to take a big inflatable that's 8 feet long and hang it drooping half sideways. What do we have there?
It's a blooper sail?
No, we call it an air brake.
Yeah, there you go.
This slows giant 747s down to 0 miles an hour when they come into land. He's carrying that around. So we got the giant air brake, and we've got the
water brake.
What do we call that?
The water brake?
The water brake, right.
The training wheels?
That's just to start with.
Yeah.
Now, walking further along with my X-ray vision and my extreme period of knowledge of sailboats, I know that right under here we have a big fat 3-bladed propeller. He's got to drag that through the water too. This is painful. Here we are up at the pointy end. It's cut way back, and then it starts, the keel itself probably starts somewhere about in here, where it drops down sharply and forms up and comes back here. But it's only drawing 4 feet. And then somewhere in here they've glued a rudder onto it.
Okay.
With the propeller in an aperture.
Okay.
So
kind of a traditional mildly cut away underbody?
A little more strongly cut away than some of the things we've seen.
Okay.
Which would give you a little more stability going straight forward. But this is going to be not unlike the sea wind catch. We got the big windlass and this giant anchor perched over the bow of the boat. This is not the original design of this boat, okay? Somebody decided they probably had too much weather helm for the boat.
Yep.
And they wanted to move the center of effort on the jib further forward, so they did this. Not always a bad idea. For balance too, especially, they get that out there a little further. And it's a good way to anchor, so it's not all bad. A raised cabin top here for windage factor. And you've got a large windscreen here. Now this is one of the trademarks of Hallberg Rassy. This is basically tempered glass. It's just really wonderful. And it's better than a Dodger because that glass always stays clear. Given the fact that you could have a hard top on here, it makes me almost feel like this would be a really wonderful sort of motor sailor.
Like a mini motor sailor.
A mini motor sailor, because it has a 50 horsepower engine in it. That's a lot of engine for a 35-foot boat. With a 3-bladed prop, you can go through Hell's Gate in New York and not know that there's a tide or anything running against you. So that's a plus. But all in all, I like the security of the boat, the lifelines. I think you'll like these. These go practically up to my armpits, don't they? Oh wait, I'm staying on the dock. So you don't want to go on this boat, do you? Okay,
I will if you make me.
All right, Randy, we've talked enough about this out here. Come on, let's get aboard this thing and take a look at it, okay?
Sounds good.
We love the subscribers.
Yeah, more subscribers means that we're going to get recommended to more people, and so that helps spread the love and spread the word about old classic boats and what we're doing, so every little bit helps.
Thanks again. Randy, come on down.
Oh, thanks.
Whoa. Now, we're in a 35-foot boat with I think we got about a 10-foot beam here on her. 10-foot beam, she draws 4'3". She weighs 12,000 pounds, so she's sturdy. 5,500 pounds of iron encapsulated in the keel. And you asked me if I still like this once I get on board here. I gotta tell you, I like this cockpit. For a guy my age, sitting in here, I feel really safe. I'm behind this basically bulletproof windscreen.
I don't love the aesthetics of it. I get the function of it, but and I also appreciate the fact that it's a signature design element. I would rather see a curved piece like a 356 Porsche Speedster.
It wouldn't fit on a boat that was designed in 1966. We're not in a great big fat racing cockpit, but they've given us some nice 3-speed, albeit Lumar winches. They're not self-tailing. One thing I like about this boat, among other things, is the height of this cockpit combing. Look how deep this is. I think we talked about the structure on the stern of this boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would replace that with a monitor steering system or a hydrovane. I think we might have mentioned that, but anyway, and then just sit back and let the boat steer itself and be comfortable. Look at this gorgeous wheel. You don't find this every day, do you? And look at this sort of antique-y type of thing here, but you know what I'm going to tell you? This is made by Edson. Look at this beautiful Ritchie compass here. That's crystal clear. Looks like it's right out of the shop. We have a single lever transmission handle here, plus the throttle, all built into one. There's a hole right here. What do you think that's for?
Probably a table of some kind?
Exactly. I'll bet you there's a table that has a pin that sits in there, and we'll probably find it hung up down below somewhere. I don't know about this particular top, but I would rig this top with the full side curtain thing and make this another whole living room. This is what it's all about. This is nice.
For the spacing on this, does this feel like the Vinda a little bit to you? Because you got this little aft cabin, about the same size.
It does, but I'm going to show you that aft cabin, and it's nothing like the Vindo.
Okay. No. I can see there's a helmsman seat for you.
It's a very nice helmsman seat, and it's just about the right breadth for my seat, isn't it? Look at that. That's exactly my measurement. And I'm going to sit down, get comfortable. Oh yeah. I think the current owner has slightly shorter legs. Great visibility everywhere we're going. And sitting here, let's turn around for a second with your camera. Look forward here. Look down on the port side of this cockpit. No, inside. Look at the chart table right there on top, covered by plastic to keep just any random moisture out of it. And look at where they put the Furuno instrumentation panel down there. And look at the engine gauges. Take that all in. That's beautiful. Overhead, looking forward, you'll see Brooks and Gatehouse, and that's going to have your apparent wind and your wind speed and depth sounder on there. And right in front of me, they don't have the monitor vane yet, but they have a Simrad autopilot. Let's take a look at the lockers. Holy smokes. Now, we're looking down at standing up room down there. Room for, I don't know, all the supplies to go around the world. This is a Bluewater boat, by the way. And also I want you to notice the full-length stringers down here. There's one big one here and a smaller one up topside. You see our bilge pump? And it's a little distant for the captain to reach. I know you like him to come out and pump away down here. Super sail locker. On the port side, we have a choice. You've got 2 lockers here. They split them up. We have a shallow one here for lines that you can grab right away.
And then maybe air it out so you can put some wet lines and leave that open to dry out?
Yeah, why not? And look at this one down here. Look how deep that is. It's just like the one on the starboard side. And there's a little secret access, it looks like, to the probably some more of the steering gear or the after cabin. I'm liking this boat more and more. I'm going to go below myself. We mentioned the after cabin. Should we take a quick look at that? Now, if you remember on the Vindo, once I got in there, I was really in there, wasn't I?
Yeah, we called the local fire department and got you
out. You did.
Out.
And they brought in a couple guys with a miniature ladder. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Now, could this be the end of the video, possibly? Look at this. Oh. Now, this is not the Vindo. And look, 2 nice opening ports right here. I'm going to have a cross breeze plus this giant hatch. And just as an aside, the cushions and everything here are really in nice shape. This boat's in great shape. Great shape.
Is there anything under there, like an engine?
I just pulled up the covers, you notice, on the steering quadrant. It's a quadrant because you see it's only a quarter round here. This is a Edson quadrant. We also had a question of whether or not this was hydraulic or what sort of system. And it's just a standard system with the push-pull cable right here. That this piece comes in from pulleys under here and on the other side and goes around and finds its way up to a chain that's hung over a tooth drive behind the wheel. Now I know you spent some time with the good people from Edson. What did you learn about this sort of system?
One is it's a great idea when looking at a used boat to really take a hard look at the steering system, because obviously when something goes wrong with it, it's pretty catastrophic. So one thing to keep in mind that our friends at Edson told us is make sure you inspect your cables, especially at purchase, and then maybe twice a year. You're going to want to either take a cotton ball and run it over the cable, trying to find any frayed element of the cable so it'll catch on that. You could also wear a cotton glove, I think, as you've pointed out, so you could kind of feel it.
Well, real men just do it barehanded, you know.
If you do it barehanded, yeah, you just need a rag to wipe up the blood.
Right,
yeah,
that's it. You got it. Yeah, there you go.
The other thing that we discovered is the condition of the quadrant. On my boat, there was actually, it looked like an impact to the quadrant at some point. So there was a brazed piece that was filleted onto the main quadrant. So this one looks okay. This kind of putty piece looks like it's been retrofitted to accommodate the hydraulic ram. So
I think that's exactly right. I was wondering what that is, and you've at a good point. They've done this, and this is probably some sort of epoxy that's hardened up, and then they've got it through bolted into the casting here.
I just wanted to pause here really quickly because we got some feedback after showing this to Edson, and the suggestion is don't ever drill a hole into your quadrant. And here we have 4 holes. Not only that, but the angle that the hydraulic arm is fitted to the bolt is not 90 degrees. So that's going to create some strange friction and forces on the whole assembly. If you're interested in more information about what to look for and how to inspect steering systems, Edson's put together a really handy reference guide. Check out the link here. One thing that they're going to be doing with my boat is we're going to be attaching the ram directly to the rudder post.
Oh, really?
So if there's a failure of the steering system, it's independent of the quadrant and the cables.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that you could, if you had a steering cable failure, you could then control the boat with the autopilot.
And the ram will be strong enough to drive, to have the attachment up there. You don't need this long arm
Edson's
on it.
Got a really simple little collar system that you could just clamp on to any rudder stock.
Oh, wonderful.
You just need enough room to get the hydraulic rod in there. So.
Well, I feel a lot better about that.
And yeah, talking with Dave, there's this adjustment nut that controls the adjustment tension on the cable. So the cable goes back, and that's how you adjust the tension on the cable. And then usually what you do is you have a stopper nut. And so this one is actually done properly. What we've seen is people put one nut on one side of this and one nut on the other, which doesn't accomplish what you really want.
No.
And he said about 80% of the boats that Edson gets on to do an evaluation has that set up improperly. So one thing for owners to look at is check that tensioning rod, check the nut, make sure the nut actually has the proper setup so that it's not just ineffectual.
Well, this is lucky to find this. I mean, it's great for you to see this too, especially with what you're going through with your steering on your boat. Randy, just as I'm coming out of the companionway here, I noticed this nice Harken traveler system for the main with, it's got a few Schaefer components to it as well. But this is really nicely set up. This is an interesting rig for the whole thing, and keeping it above the hatch, so it's really out of the way, and it's out of the way of everything. And what do we have here? By the way, as I stand here.
Oh wow, we've got a belt and suspenders situation.
Yes, we do. I think this was just stuck in here for our benefit, so we could see how the spare tiller would
it matches
work.
your outfit.
Exactly. Thank you. Now I'm going to come out of here, and then I think we take a little walk around the deck. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Moving forward here, first of all, this coating on the deck is not teak.
This is a synthetic teak.
It has a grit to it that you could walk up a mountain with. It's incredibly, really grippy stuff. So it's a great safety feature. I like that a lot. One thing I did notice though, the hand railings here, these are a little low for me, because actually my hand catches under there.
Yep.
I think I'd look into replacing these somehow.
Or raise them up somehow, or yeah.
They look good, but you see, you just can't get your hand under there. And your knuckles would be rubbed raw. Now forward we have another anchor locker here of sorts. Let's see what it looks like on this boat. That's very tight, perfectly fitting for a boat this size. And
see your propane there.
that looks like a propane tank. Yes,
You don't see them up in the bow very often.
No, you don't. Here's another sail handling problem. You got all this chain up here, and that chain must weigh, could weigh 300 pounds maybe.
Yep.
You got the heavy windlass up here. You got the anchor. This is all going to promote this kind of hobby horsing. Ideally, it would be great to figure out how to get that chain to run down to the bilge somewhere and get it down low in the boat. We have an up and down switch here for the windlass, and a nice big old CQR up here with room for another one on the other side, but it's been removed, it looks like. There's just one bow roller there. But that's kind of a nice platform out there. Do you like that?
I like it a lot, yeah. Reminds me of the Shannon. As far as size.
Exactly. Now we've also got some nice size bulwarks here. That's really going to keep you in. And as you questioned once before in another boat, the height of these, whoops.
Hey, you're testing it.
I almost went over. The height of these are here now. The last boat we looked at, it was actually catching down about here. So we picked up about 3 or 4 inches. We have a 4-part vang system here. That's just this up here, right at when you're up by the mast, working the mast. You just pull up on that, and that will keep your boom right at the right height you want it. This is probably a Selden spar or Proctor, possibly Proctor from England. Want to take a peek at this?
Sure.
I don't know if this is anodized or it's been coated with something else, but it's very nice and clean, and there's no heavy oxidation on this spar. And that's an old spar, very simple single spreader up aloft. So simple rig. Down here we have an interesting winch combination. Notice we have wire on this drum and we have wire on this drum. Now this boat is probably only ever going to sail really with 2 sails, the jib and the main. So you want to get them up and set and not have to worry about the halyards stretching at all. So they put all solid wire. There's no spinnaker pole action on this boat. You're going to do wing and wing and
just a
try to sail it straight as you can. Yeah. Let me zip this up, and then I think we should take a look below decks. What do you think?
Yeah.
Hey Randy, come on down now, buddy. Now notice.
Oh, thanks.
Notice you've only got like 2 steps to come into this cabin.
Oh, it's pretty great.
There's not like a 6-foot tall, ladder you got to shinny down, right?
I mean, that kind of reminds me of the Vinda, I gotta say.
You can say that, and I can't argue that. I think if the 2 were side by side, I wouldn't have any choice but to go with this puppy. We have a nice table here. Fiddles all around, right? And that'll keep your food from moving around too far. This will do something here. I think it folds up or down, but it can also turn into a full double. And look at the woodwork in here.
It's kind of what we expect with the Swedes or the Scandinavians.
Let's see what we have back here. Oh, Velcro. We love old Velcro here, right? And we got a nice big locker here. There we go. Oh, and how do you like the ceiling in there? It just carries. They just didn't leave that,
No.
covered with raw fiberglass, did they? Wow.
Beautiful.
A lot of boats have the opposing settee and pilot berths. This is just the other style. This is the full-length galley. This is for people who like to eat at sea. We have, let's see what they're going to cook on. 2-burner, and I believe that is a propane. We know that's a propane, right? We've seen a
Yep,
propane
seen it
tank.
up in the bow, yeah.
And that's a very colorful one. That's obviously European. Look at the sliders here, and look at the ceilings back in there. Everything is just 1972. Nice big sink. It's not on the center line, and we may want to look and find out if there's a shut-off valve for it. And there is. It's right there. So we'd probably shut that off on a port tack.
Yeah, would you just shut it down for when you're underway?
Probably shut it down when you're underway, just so you don't forget it.
Yeah.
A lot of times people forget those things, and they suddenly go down and they're going slosh, slosh. Not a happy feeling. Ooh, yes. An icebox, and I don't see signs of refrigeration, so this may be just purely an icebox. Note the insulation they've done with this. Nice tight fit. Oh, there's just some more controls for your water pressure pump. Will he fit? He does. Secure and snug as a bug in a rug. And look at, oh, more points for this guy.
Yeah, this is bonus.
This is really nice. These are probably all circuit breaker switches. So if one of them trips, it'll flip itself up, I'm thinking. And we have, I'm not certain which this display, it goes to the Fru notes up on deck, so we'd have to review. We'll actually have to read the manual. What do you think? Is that a good idea?
Not really into that.
We got a Fusion radio here and a VHF, and I don't think this has AIS on it, but anyway, you've got a VHF so you can talk to the Coast Guard if you have to. Look at the port light windows here. Good and long, again, tempered glass, basically bulletproof. I'm just trying to see where I'd put the wood-burning fireplace. I would find a place, because it would make this whole cabin glow, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe up a little higher here.
Yeah, that's a thought. That's a very good thought. I'd have to move the paper towels, but that would be okay. What are you looking for?
That big ass engine.
I bet it's right behind me somewhere.
Oh yeah.
There. What do you think?
Awesome. Awesome access.
Is that incredible or what? It's a Volvo D222 or something. And you like the accessibility to your Raycor?
I do, with a shut-off valve right there.
Yep.
And then a pressure
gauge.
Yep. Then you got your raw water right here. You can keep an eye on. You could probably just pop this little piece out, this little centerpiece, right?
You know what I bet that'd be used for? That's where you put your screwdriver and your pliers.
I think it's basically has a little scupper action because there's a hole that goes to a drain hose.
Oh, okay.
That hole down there goes to
Yep,
this
yep.
drain hose. Yeah.
That could be any water that gets through the seals here on
Yeah.
the engine. That's true too.
Pretty nice.
But I'd also like to keep my tools on that as well, wouldn't I? Oh, come in, Randy. Come in.
Oh,
I'm sitting up in the forepeak already. Nice fabric in here. And look at my feet. They're almost touching the floor. They're sort of
Yeah.
touching the floor, which means I can get in and out of this bunk with great ease. Look at the little ladder here to help you up and out of this
oh yeah.
forepeak. And the hatch above is really good size for a body. It's not a little half-baked hatch,
Yep.
which we call an HBH.
Yep. HBH. I will say these bulkheads have caught my attention several times.
Well, that's because you don't learn.
I don't.
You don't learn.
I was not taught to learn.
Okay, I'm just opening this hatch here. Here's more dry storage for whatever you want to put down in there. Got to be the original paint down there
Yeah.
on the hull, right?
Yep.
Because when you open something like this, if somebody's gone in and kind of painted it up to get it ready to sell or something, you'll see paint all over wires and hoses. This boat has been really maintained well. 35-foot boat, again, Randy. I've got a lot of room. I'm sitting on the throne.
You don't have that much room. I'm almost on your lap.
No, I do have a window here. I have a lot of nice air coming in, and there's a vent directly overhead. We have a handheld shower right here. Whoop, it's already doing it itself. I think I just turned it on.
You don't have a choice.
I did. Oh, look. Oh. Does that look inviting or what? There's our latch here. Now, again, look at the finish on the inside of these lockers. It's dry. It's nice.
What's underneath this rug? Do we have like a teak and holly situation or what?
Let's take a look. Oh, I think we just got the mahogany. boards. They like to do this. They didn't do all that much teak and holly. They supplied, originally factory, they would supply this carpeting.
Yep.
This isn't an add-on. This isn't something that came from Lowe's or something. That's from Sweden. And neat and tidy or what?
Very nice.
And look at the water purifier here.
Yep.
And it's got a water dampener so that it won't pump and pound all the time. That's what the black tank is for. Go look at the chain plates coming down in there. See if you see any problem with those. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. I know I normally leave you having a siesta, but maybe this time I'll just leave you on the throne.
Okay.
Since you're the king.
All right. I'm going to relax here, Randy. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, but listen, if you don't hear from me for a little bit, come find me, okay?
We'll send some...
Thanks, pal.
We'll send a rescue
Have a good
dog.
day.
Bye.
How do they say that in Sweden?
Tusen tack.
Auf Wiedersehen. Randy.
Yeah.
I'm very happy right now. You know why?
Oh, because we found some shade.
Exactly. We've been out looking at wonderful boats today, and we just saw what I think is a really nice, interesting boat for the right person. And that could even be the old captain here as he gets older, called the Rasmus. This was the first one that they built, and it turned out to be a very popular boat. They built 760 of these, and there's a reason it was so popular, because people got on board and they were amazed to find out how much room had been pushed into a 35-footer. It had a nav station, it had a really secure cockpit. Now, with grandchildren, I love that cockpit. They can't fall out of it. So I like the boat a lot. It's in great shape. It's 50 years old. It looks 2 years old maybe. She had all sorts of good gear on board, and a couple of things we'd like to change. Some of the superstructure on this transom, the kind of goofy stern thruster gizmo thing, horrible thing. But other than that, it's a terrific boat. I'm going to give that boat a 10 because I know it floats. I'm also going to give it, it's got to get another 10 because it's a Hallberg Rassy. It's going to get another 10 because it's got a 50 horsepower motor in it. So I'm going to give you another 10 on this one too.
Oh, wow.
Because the captain could enjoy his dotage on this boat, I think. Just the right size.
What about the nav table?
Oh, thank you. So we're up to 40 and the nav table gets a good point. We'll make it 41. How's that?
Mini motor sailor.
Oh, that's a point. Thank you for reminding me. That was one of the whole concept of this boat, is I liked the fact that it felt like a little motor sailor. I'm going to give it another 2 points for the mini motor aspect. We're up to 43 for the mini motor sailor Hallberg Rassy Rasmus 35. Thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and love seeing a Hallberg Rassy. It's always time well spent. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when the next one comes out, please hit the alert bell. And that's not desperate at all. Randy, how would I ever find out what's coming up next?
You can follow us on Instagram here,
Yeah.
or Facebook here. We'll have little previews of what's coming up on our next episodes. A little bit early.
That's pretty cool. Previews. You all join me. I'm going to Instagram right now, and I'm going to find out what's coming up next week. Thank you very much.
You know, Instagram's not a place.